typical table setting. But according to Hebrew traditions, this napkin has so much more significance than I think a lot of people realize. It goes all the way back to master and servant. When a servant would set the table for his master, he would make sure it was exactly as his master wanted it. And then as his master ate, he would keep a watchful eye as to the next move his master would make, not daring to touch his plate unless he knew for certain that his master was finished. If his master were to stand up, wad up the napkin, and throw it across the table, this was an indication to the servant that, I'm finished, I won't be back. But if he were to fold up the napkin neatly and lay it right beside his plate, this was an indication, I'm not finished and I will be back. So, if you could all turn in your Bibles to John chapter 20, verses 6 and 7. It says, Then Simon Peter, who was behind him, arrived and went into the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the burial cloth that had been around Jesus' head. The cloth was folded up by itself, separate from the rest of the cloths. To most people, again, the folding of a linen cloth didn't really mean a whole lot. But to God's people, this was a message. This was an indication from Jesus himself. I'm not finished. I will be back. Now, when Peter saw this, I have to imagine that he knew immediately what God was saying to him. Because you see, Peter was in a really hard place. He denied God 3 times on the night of his crucifixion. That's a big deal. I also have to imagine that Peter dropped to his knees and praised God at that moment because he knew immediately that God wasn't finished with him and God wasn't finished with his people. There may be some of you in here today who are in the same place that Peter was in. Maybe you've turned your back on God, or maybe you've given up on him completely. But I'm here to tell you that God is not finished with you. He has planned out every step you will ever take, every encounter you will ever come across, and every obstacle you will ever overcome. I pray today that some of you will have a personal encounter with God, a linen cloth moment, if you will. 2 Timothy 1:9 states, God who has saved us and called us to a holy life, not because of anything we have done, but because of his own purpose and grace. This grace was given to us in Jesus Christ before the beginning of time. You see, God has a purpose for us, his purpose, and he uses us in our weaknesses and our faults. Think about it. Moses had a stuttering problem, but God used him to free his people from captivity after 400 years. And David committed adultery and murder, but God used him, and now he's known as a man after God's own heart. If God can use a stutterer, an adulterer, and a murderer, he can certainly use you and your weaknesses. That's his promise. He's not finished with us, and he hasn't left us hopeless. He's given us a new hope. As much as the devil wished for it, God wasn't finished on the cross. He wasn't finished in the tomb, and he's not finished in you. The cloth was folded. The master is coming back. The ultimate sacrifice was given, and the price was paid. But he's not finished yet. Thank you.